we are back, guys, and we are at Maendeleo House in town. This is the location for AFTI, and this is the AFTI Spotlight. On the set, I have Watson, Maina, Washira, and Yokabi. We've been sharing our stories and just interacting, and we want to stick and start with the theme of the day, which was myths, separating myths from facts in the Kenyan and in the local film and TV industry. To begin, there are a couple of things you know that you're told about the industry, and they're not true. One thing I'd like to share, I can put out two, then maybe you can add, you can add. One thing I know for a fact is a lie, is that you must have a big crew or big budget to shoot a film. That's one limit that you must accept. We are in a third world, and being in a third world, lazima ujikubali penye huko. What the market needs is content. So it's a myth to think that I can't shoot because I don't have the gear. I can't shoot because I don't have that HD or 4K camera. That's a myth. Another myth I know, and I really was scared when I started out in this TV and film industry, was there's this myth that the industry is just run by gay people, and it's true. There's a lot of LGBTQ vibes, but it's not true. It's a myth. It's a myth. It's always like my mother would have, her worry was that. Hey, huko watu wanavanga vijana wanavaa booty shorts. I'm like, hold on. I can't see that, but you know I'm a rugby player, so it's a myth. The industry is actually there, those people, but LGBTQ people have their own rights. Same way as people with mental health have their own rights. Same way the people with any type of illness have their own rights. So they're there, but they're part of the industry. And there are people who are straight and they're still at high level in the industry. So it's a lie. You don't have to change or reform. Just be who you are.
Stand for what you believe.
Stand for what you believe.
As long as you're happy.
People will actually like you for just being you. Don't conform. Don't change. I'm really struggling, but I got you guys back at home. The other more myths and misconceptions, Washila, you mentioned some.
For me, before I joined the industry, one of the myths I used to hear about is that overnight success is common. Which is actually not. It's not common because you really have to put in the work. Nida kaiguire. Kwa hii industry.
Namesema acha nikuambie.
Kwa hii industry. You will have to work for where you want to be. Overnight success is not common. How to answer project leo na kesho ati dunia inakujua. Actually, people could not be bothered about what you are doing right now. Ati una shoot project assistant TV, we don't care. Have you put in the work? Now we start seeing results. You're like, now we can call this guy. We've seen what he's doing. So overnight success is not common. The other thing is, it's all glamour. It's all glamorous working for the film industry. Because when you see us guys on the red carpet, you're all smiling. Hey, it's a lot of work. Utapata msee ametoka set amegombana na producer ama director, and they still afford a smile kwa red carpet. So it's not all glamour. Like unatokanga set umebeat. Sometimes it's even your tears, like everything. Fatigue. At some point you're almost like, hey, let me give up.
Even odd working hours.
Because kwa time utaingia set 6 am na utoke na uko kitu kama 3 am the next day, uko like, hey, na mumeshoot na the next day unahitajika tena for another nini. Kwanza mkifanya back to back. So it's not all glamour. If you see these actors and these like creatives in the industry enjoying their time and their money, imagine they deserve it. We deserve it because we've really worked for it. Behind the glamour, there is hard work, there is tears, there is pain. There is sacrifices that people make because sometimes you don't even get to see your family. Travel, uko outside the uko mashinani una shoot project, and you are doing it because it's a passion for you. It's not all glamour. A fact.
Yes.
Industry iko na pesa na iko nayo. Industry iko na pesa, but it's now it's up to you ujue how to get that money from people. Again, money mindset but with skills. No, the industry has a lot of money. Secondly, the industry can skyrocket you to even greater heights that you never imagined. You might be in the film industry and you find yourself like working for even like bigger companies that are not even in any way affiliated to film or acting and everything else. So it's up to you to like use the resources you have at that moment to your own advantage. Good relations with people, the people you're working with, and you're good to go. Again, discipline. In this industry, you have to be very disciplined and very consistent. By those way, shtuka ati hauna camera, hauna lights, hauna nini. Unaona hiyo simu uko nayo, hiyo simu yako mbaya unasema ni mbaya. Whatever content you shoot, post it. Somebody somewhere is watching, and somebody somewhere is going to support you. But you have to put in the work. You have to be very consistent.
The content you went viral for was on your phone, isn't it?
Yeah, it was like on this phone, literally. Hata sikuwa na ring light. I bought a ring light after. So shoot. Ukiona kitu interesting, shoot, post. Again, try find your niche because your niche is going to like push you.
Yeah.
To get views, engagement. People are always going to engage with your posts. If you are a fashion creator, stick to fashion. If you are a lifestyle creator, stick to lifestyle. If you are luxury, stick to luxury. Kama wewe ni msee wa ma games, ma movies, nini, lifestyle, to ma podcast, stick to that. You always there's an audience for everybody. Sawa. Yeah.
That's lovely kept.
Watson, Kanye, Maina. By the way, ni Mkikuyu. Did he say it's Kikuyu?
No, I said my name is Watson.
Nice.
Then I ended that. I think one thing I always notice is, maybe it's a problem I see in the industry, is that there's a repetition of actors.
Wait. Now you know we have different line of thoughts.
So now the myth essentially is you need a name to
Yeah.
make a good movie or to make a successful film.
Okay. I see where you're going with it.
So I think that's 100% a miss in my opinion. I think it's just fundamentally what you need is a great story,
Yes.
a great script,
Yes.
and amazing actors, people who understand, and not even just there's the people and also behind the scenes. If you have a pretty lackluster crew, you're going to have a lackluster product.
Yeah, fact.
You know, and so if you have to everyone has to be on top of their game on everything to make a good film. And it doesn't have to be a famous gaffer, it doesn't have to be famous. Just as long as you have the skill and you're good at it, you can create a pretty decent piece of work.
And that aspect of, I know you guys watching, you've seen so many familiar faces in terms of actors.
So repetitive, yeah.
Repetitive. It's not repetition. It's to push that message across and just let it stick. We should have just talked about discipline. We should have just talked about consistency. Seeing these faces there, all in all, is them putting in their 10,000 hours. For you to even skyrocket or blow up on YouTube, you need to put in those 10,000 hours. So it's just them doing the work. They're not bad at it.
They're not bad at it. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, I think as an industry to
But
grow,
it is our
for industry to grow,
we need to give new people
we need to give,
opportunities.
exactly. And like, because you look at theatre, for example. I know I'm dragging on here, but theatre has a lot of fresh actors.
New faces.
New faces,
Every stage players like new actors.
And I like going to plays personally. Every once in a while I go to Allianz, I go to Kings. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So every time I just see someone new, like a new thingy, I'm just like, oh, it's a half decent.
By the way, shout out Steve.
Steve is Luanda Ontero, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
shout out
Martina.
Steve is an half
And
tea
Martina
student, and
is doing so well.
doing a theatre show. It's been airing on KNT, isn't it? I'm only fan happy premiere.
Yeah.
Braben.
Luanda
Braben.
Yeah, I know Ian is also there. Is the he was Ian. Do you know Ian, the actor acting for Mchungaji? He was actually supposed to be awarded for Pulse Awards actor of the year. No, big names. So many recycled faces. Anyway, shout out Steve and Martina.
Yeah. After Alumni.
Alumni.
And then another one is a problem. I think it's a problem. Obviously, is marketing of films.
Yeah.
We, as the Kenyan industry, do not market films very well. Like just the other day, I found this thingy on Netflix, Family Vacation, with Sahar San and some other.
I saw it, but I haven't
You
watched
watched
it.
it? I haven't watched it because
just seen it.
It was very interesting. It is.
You're coming to back, but then you need to know what you're consuming locally.
Yeah, so it's actually it's a half decent film. Like it's
You watched it?
I watched it with the family.
Okay.
But then the thing is, I didn't know about it until I put it on Netflix. There was
Yeah,
no
marketing.
of this. So I think I don't know how I'm going to push this, but you do need to market your films.
Let me tell you, like a good example of how you should do the marketing would be Click Click Bang with Abel Mutua, with the human billboards in town and was about to launch it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's many creative ways. You don't have to spend money to go put on a paper and stuff. There's you can be very creative in promoting your films, and that way you can get your audience and people actually will watch them. So yeah, those are the myths I kind of have and
The industry and some facts that you've cleared out. We have questions that just came in, so them land.
Yeah, so I think the first question here is like, what is your opinion on the forced diversity in the film industry? I obviously gonna have very different opinions on this.
Yeah, go.
I think mine, something one of our old lecturers said, Lucia said once in one of her classes was, film is basically a mirror to society.
The power is in our hands.
And when I see like the diversity thing is like, we're looking, society has adapted and changed over the years. Nothing's, 20 years ago, it's not how, people are not the same this year.
Facts.
And I think it's only right and fair as creatives is to show the world, or make it digestible for people to understand how society has changed and how it looks. And so I think when you say forced, I disagree with that statement. So because I believe it's not so much forced, but showing a reflection of who we are as a society.
We like your answer. Proceed.
And then number 2, how can a young filmmaker utilize social media tools to grow and improve their craft? Research. That's just number 1. Research.
Practice.
Research and practice. If you're going to utilize social media, that's in itself marketing, which was something we discussed like just before. This is barely in marketing. When you have an idea, like you said, you have a phone, shoot something, shoot a short film. That can be 2-minute story. Put it up and just keep doing that.
I think this is a nice chance for us to do our social media handles before we close. Because I'm always on social media, so you can go check out.
So yeah, like I think for myself, even every time I get bored and decide to edit something, create a little short video, put on my Instagram, people to see. Again, right now as it stands, I'm not in the film industry, but I have worked and experienced in film and TV. So whenever I get my creative juices and just decide, hey, let me do this, get an hour, 2 hours, cut, and then put it up.
My take on that question would be like practice. If you check out my handles, that's Uncle Marcus. That's Instagram, Facebook, Marcus Gavi, and then Twitter, Uncle Marcus. When you check out my handle, my content is creative, and I'm not really on the nitty-gritties of perfection, because I know I'm not perfect. Only God is, so I can't try to chase perfection. So what I do is I make content. You want to utilize social media? Put content out there. That's the only way you'll know this is working, this is not. A while back, we did an interview with Flacco, and that's what he told me. He kept out content, he kept pushing content. The one that picks, he niched down with that one. So for me, my advice for this would just be like, put out content. You come with an idea comes to your head, script it, you already know how to do it. Shortlist, implement, put it, let people critique. If you don't post, they will comment. If you post, they still comment. So that's it.
My take on that would be, especially on TikTok, try and go with what is trending at the moment. If there are challenges on TikTok that are trending, do them in your own creative, in your own twists. Like, do them and put it out there. Never be afraid of shooting content in terms of how many views you're going to get. Let the algorithm do its thing. You shoot your content, put it out there, algorithm itachukulia hapo pengine. Even on Instagram, again, try find your niche. Try learn from other creators on Instagram and TikTok. What are they doing? What can you do differently? Can you try collab? Try learn from them. Don't be too usikuwa na ego kubwa unasema ati mimi siwezi fuata creator anafanya nini. Learn from what they are doing. Again, if you look at Flacco, what does he do?
Vibes.
Just like jumping up and down, calling with this and what is and he's making money out of that. So stand for what you believe in. Again, find a niche, create your content, put it out there. If it's lifestyle, shoot lifestyle videos. Get out like other content, look at other content creators like Akina Kendi. What are they doing? Learn from them. Never be afraid to DM them and ask them, can you help me out? If they are willing, they will. If they're not willing, like, just brush it off song and
move on. We move in
August.
Yeah, the table is so big, everyone can eat.
Yes, and if you don't get a space on the table, break that table.
Number
3, there's a question here about budgeting, and I'm hearing it's a challenge. So how do we go about budgeting? As a trainer and also with institutions, I'll give you a hack. Reproduction. If you can lock your idea from scratch and actually tell me this is what I need, I'm seeing presentation. At that point, I can take your idea. But if you come to me with a script, it does not translate into money until you break down that script. And if you show the organization that this is what we need, this is what will cost, and you can be accountable for anything, I don't think budgets should be a problem for an institution that's training film. Moving on swiftly, unless you want to add.
I don't think it's too amplified what you said, because for example, our internship, we did, what was it, potato something?
I remember we did a
pilot thingy. And I think
the potato project.
The potato project.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's an internship to see if you could actually create.
I was directing that time.
Directing, Mark was in DOP, and I was just pure producer. Pure producer. Anyway,
Yeah.
I think fundamentally it's once we got our script first, because initially we had to talk to write the script. The pilot.
What do you think it's going to be like?
And what ideas we have, and obviously the support on getting people. And then once we got that and knew, then after that we got script, we had to know where we're going. Location. So that we had to budget.
Lock it down.
Plug in as transport and accommodation, all those different things. Then you put that in our budget. And then obviously food, all those different things. Because I think we spent like 2 nights. Nakuru.
It was Nakuru. Yeah, we did 2 nights.
2 nights max. Because we went to Molo, went to Nyandarua.
We went to
We went to all these different places. So once the only way we got that budget as interns was because we broke
Broke
down
it
that pilot to the T and to the I. Everything was accounted for. So when you came back and we met, I had to sit down with Latifa. I had to explain, like, this is why this money came, this is why this, and from that point on, I think after that we moved to shoot Deja Vu, and there was trust already set because of what we did.
Yeah.
To now get even more money to film.
Okay. Well captured, son. Number 4. In films, you say that nothing is new under the sun. Yes, we do say that. Do you believe that when you come up with a new concept, you can only adapt to what exists? I'll let Watson answer this because we shot a movie of his.
Yeah, I believe so. I stand by that. I think, if, for example, even like Lion King is based off Shakespeare.
Yeah.
It's just been set different now instead of
Wait,
royalty.
King is based off Shakespeare.
Yes, Hamlet.
How did you get to that conclusion?
I've read both Hamlet and watched Lion King,
So
and it's also a pretty known fact. Fundamentally, it's create a film, just do it. The concept and how you do it is a bit a different approach. Yeah, I think it's nothing new, just creative way to make it a different story, but it's the same base, same foundation, but different stories.
Yes, in film we say there's nothing new under the sun. Yes, the only
Exactly.
thing you can do is
Nothing
what?
new under the sun.
Add your flavor, add a touch of you. That's what I tell most of the people. I'll give you as much information I have, but the only difference is how you deliver the information you're given. The words you use, you just have to switch it.
That's why
tweak
Taylor Perry films are like doing the most.
And as creatives, there's no limit.
There's no limit.
There's no limit. You just have to don't conform to that saying of there's nothing new under the sun, but there's nothing new under the sun, because the stories are similar, but they're different. Different in one aspect: who executed it, how did he do it, what did he source. We can shoot the same content, we can shoot this podcast somewhere else. By changing the location, it's a totally different.
Like the same thing, like if you have you can give two people the same script, but the end product is going to be very different.
Even edits.
Yeah.
You can edit the same footage with someone, but when you present, the story can be changed within it. So don't let that statement of nothing is new under the sun be the limit for your creativity. For creatives especially, we make new things every day under the same sun. Because me, I'll possess. You'll give me an idea here, I tweak it kidogo, it's mine.
That's true.
It's mine. And there's no way you're going to sue me or copyright ideas, because there's so many. Next question, do you believe that location affects creativity, exposure, or location doesn't necessarily affect the factors listed above? Because I believe location can be a thriving factor. You are right.
You're very right, because location is a determining factor of how the feel and the look of the film is going to be like. Because you can't tell me that you're shooting a poor background like you're shooting a runda. Always try find interesting locations that relate to the characters that are in the film. So location really it's a big factor. It's a very big determinant when you're shooting films.
Location will help with believability.
Yeah,
also.
believability. Yeah.
People want. Why don't we show? Just answer your question. You're right, first of all, but why we never show the crew is because we are selling the idea in the sense that the location we are at, they don't know we are filming. So the location they see, the aesthetics are the ones that are going to sell the film. So if you're selling a Shags model, Shago type of vibe and you put me uptown, I won't invest in your film.
Yeah, that's why
so you want
find
people to cry, feel it. So you must put them in the right environment. The same way, if you're raised downtown and you're raised uptown, if you cross the road, there are differences.
Yeah.
That's why I find in like local TV programs, they build their sets from zero. From scratch, like Papa Shirandula, because we had like that ghetto set here at Kawangware. It was in Karen.
Someone's backyard.
It was in someone's house, in someone's backyard. Even Inspector Mwala, like the sets were built from scratch, and on screen you can really tell that in a ghetto. But in reality, tuko Karen, ni mabati tu imewekwa hapo structures. So location really is a big determinant.
Number 7, what trends do you like? Do you think are shaping the future of the film industry, and why? I know the obvious one, so I can just go with it. You know, the obvious trend in this is AI, artificial intelligence. If you're not for everything, bro, for everything. If you're not jumping on, I'm not telling you to do exam with ChatGPT. That's basic. Learn how to use it effectively to proofread that exam you've cheated, but don't cheat in exam. So what I'm telling you with the film and TV industry, in the aspect that, let me tell you, the future is going to be AI driven. So it's either you jump on board now or be left behind. I'm saying this with confidence because I was watching a movie, it was shot in 1996. They're trying to show us the future. So they pushed to 2032. Sindio, so tuko 20?
24.
So we're almost there.
We're close.
If you see the future in their time, what they were thinking it was happening, they had the AIs, but they got the AIs aspect wrong. Now, rather than the way we have generating things by itself, he thought it'd be robots in meetings, people in faces, not real people working with the machines. In the future, we had his aspect of the future, and what it is just off kiasi to exaggerate, overdo, but he's almost where we are. So with the AI, as I'm saying, we can write better script if you incorporate your idea. Mtu anakuanga na synopsis. Story yangu ni hivi. Lakini you don't put the right prompts. That's why you end up making AI look like it's mediocre, it's not delivering. So learn how to use AI. Learn how to incorporate into your day-to-day activities. We are going to a future where everything will be voice activated. We're going to a future where cameraman won't be there, everything is remote controlled. So if you don't know how to use the system, that's when you start getting worried that, oh, AI is going to take my job. No, AI still needs you to prompt it to do the job. So that's one trend I'm thinking that's going to take over. Adobe Audition would launch something for editing. Remember previously when you were editing, you had to cut, it's less spaces. Now it's cutting itself.
Even Premiere Pro. Set it to cut. You have multiple cameras. You know how
Multicams, yeah. So the software is updating and they're being incorporated in these big industries. If you check, for Dell, people who use Dell, there's this software that we have that has Bing, its own chat GPT.
Oh, Copilot.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's Copilot, but ideally AI is taking over for me. That to be one of the trends I'd mention.
I think mine is more human touch. Basically, is one thing I've noticed in terms of like watching obviously Kenyan films and just films in general. It's how we do cinematography in Kenya has improved. So I think in general, in terms of directing and even cinematography, the Kenyan industry is stepping up its game.
But I feel like we're still copying a lot of.
We're still copying, but
It's not the same. It's not the same. Yeah. Kitambo ilikuanga everything has to be shown, akikanyaga chini, mguu ikienda juu. Follow.
Always still shot.
Says a B-roll.
Shot. There's no movement of the camera.
Sure you wanna add?
No.
Okay. So, what is the biggest ick you have in the film industry? What exactly do you watch in film and feel disgusted or feel like they could have changed and do that better? Ashina, you want to take this?
For me, it's like when two people are in love, especially in the Kenyan film industry, you can tell that particular scene is so forced, even in terms of how they deliver their lines, their characters. Oh my god, it's so cringe. Jesus.
Go watch What and Curry. It's what's her name? This Savage. Tiwa Savage. What and Curry by Tiwa Savage. On Washira's point, Tiwa Savage is a branch. She's married, mother of kids, but she was acting with this young guy who's Nigerian. They couldn't kiss. It was like hizo vitu ndogo, and you can tell now when there's no chemistry, you can tell. So how did the director come to sort this out? He went and got smaller versions of them. So the younger version were the ones telling the story when they're in love, and then these ones that now they've grown, they found each other just for holding hands and walking and taking each other on dates. So making a brand is really crucial. For me, my biggest ick is stories. I feel like there's a lot of Western culture into our storytelling in the local industry. I like the stories. Maze, umesikia story ngapi za wachawi? Ushaiona ngapi? And how many juju stories have you heard on Nigeria? No more ngapi? Why can't we tell our own stories in that sense? Umesikia story ngapi za mama alivuka barabara kitu ikamfanikia, chama pesa iliibiwa? Our own stories. Story ngapi? So that's my issue. I feel like there's so many Kenyan stories, but you're not telling our stories. We are telling what we watch, what we see. Everyone wants to be an action fighter. See, to should do them mwenye la class na bodali pita exam lakini design flani hadi na kampuni. Like let's make something of what is already there and tell our own stories and not try and mimic whatever we are watching. That's my biggest issue. I wouldn't watch a story like if I see there's no story, I can watch something old but boring a story. I can watch a bad video, even bad edit shot on a phone. I mean a third world. You should watch in Phoenix. Lakini boring a story. I will watch it till the end. Thank you so much guys for watching and taking the time to be part of this production. I go by the groovy Uncle Marcus, and this is After Spotlight. It's been an honor. Let's close. Thank you so much guys for watching and taking the time to be part of this production. I go by the groovy Uncle Marcus, And this is After Spotlight. We're gonna share our social media handles. Can you follow?
Watson_Kani on Instagram.
I am _Ashira Nyokabi on Instagram and TikTok. Facebook is Joseph Nyokabi, as well as Twitter is Joseph Nyokabi.
I go by the groovy Uncle Marcus. Search Uncle Marcus utanipata Instagram, Uncle Marcus utanipata X. Facebook I go by Marcus Gavi. Utanipata hapo. I want you to follow, hit me up, ask me anything. And if you want to be part of the show, also delve in and jump in. If you want to share us anything in terms of creativity, content creation, you're welcome. As long as you're an alumni of AFTI.